had another situation where the property was not winterized, but the utilities were on and the battery went out in the thermostat of the home.
Just had
And
this situation.
by the time we got to the property, water was literally pouring through the ceiling, icicles and everything coming through. But the water had actually buckled the hardwood floor through the dining room and living room of the home. So for the most part, it's with the properties that are vacant, kind of like your fixer-upper properties. And even though it's a fixer-upper property, the owner is still trying to get max value for the property. And so what happens, you have a buyer, you finally find a buyer. You know, a lot of times it may be a little hard to find a buyer for these properties, but you finally find a buyer, you're getting ready to close, and then boom, this kind of happens. The pipes burst in the home. And so what did the client say? The buyer.
Listen,
what do they expect?
They want you to fix everything. Flesh out everything that has been, because mind you, especially like you said, if you're on a contract, now the conditions of the home aren't the same, right?
Exactly.
So they are going to counter back to the seller, hey, because seller, it's technically your responsibility to make sure that you are regularly checking this property, especially when it's vacant, right? And until this property, this title transfers to the new owner, you are responsible to make those repairs.
So when you thought you were getting, as the owner,
Top value.
value X amount of dollars in a transaction, when something like this happens, it can considerably decrease the amount of money that you get. And in some cases, it may not be worth anything at that point, depending on the amount of damage, because, you know, what you just mentioned, like the basement floods, it causes problem to your furnace, your hot water tank, and it ruins all of those mechanicals in the house. And so now the value is so low, you're like, well, I can't sell it for that amount, and then you're stuck with this property.